Hello and welcome to Shut Up, We're Getting Married. And this week we're going to be talking about the big 1 year countdown because we are almost exactly 1 year away from our wedding day, aren't we?
Well, today it is a year and 1 week,
Yeah.
recording it.
Yeah.
By the time it
Comes out
comes out, it will be like 2 days before or something.
2 days before a
The
year.
1 year mark, not 2 days
Yeah,
before the
not
wedding.
2 days before the wedding.
Duh.
So here we go.
Um,
We're going to discuss all things, how we're feeling, how we're doing, what we've got left to do, but we're also going to talk about just some opinion stuff, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it all. So let's get into it. The big countdown is on. All right, well, here we are. It's me, your host, Luke, your other host, Pip,
Or
and
your guest, as you say.
the dog. Oh, well, I got told off last week, didn't I, babe?
What for? Talking over me?
Talking too much.
Yeah.
So this week I'm going to take a back seat.
No, you're not going to take a back seat. You're just not going to
I never
talk
take
over
a back
me.
seat. Sorry, did I just talk over you
Yeah.
again? All right. No, we're going to discuss. I am going to take a slight back seat just so you can, because I did get told off and, I have listened to it back and, yeah, maybe I did talk too much. So we're going to just, listen to you a bit more this week.
That's very wise.
Okay, well, 1 year until our big day. How are you feeling?
I feel good. It's exciting, isn't it? Do you think it's a big deal, like the 1 year mark?
Oh,
Because some people, they do like a countdown, don't they? Like 1 year to go.
yeah, I think what will be a bigger deal is like the year of. Do you know what I mean?
Like 2026?
Yeah, when it's like New Year's and it's like, oh my God, we're getting.
Well, then for
married
us,
this year.
it's like 3 months.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. That's why I think it'd be huge because it'd be like, oh my God, we're getting married this year. Whereas at
Yeah.
the moment, it's like 1 year on the middle of the year, March. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
It's
yeah,
like,
the 1 year. I think we've had one payment that's due 1 year before, but that's it. That's the only thing that kind of like has happened between that makes it like more than a year versus a year, isn't it?
Yeah, and I guess what have we got like left to do? We've got quite a bit, right, left still to do.
Our thing, I don't think it's an issue. I was going to say our issue is, but it's not an issue. Where we have been planning, we've left a lot of time to plan and do everything, haven't we? So there's been this like gap where it's like all the basic stuff is done, but it's too early to start on like the details. So there hasn't really been much to do, but there will be. There absolutely will be.
Yeah. But we're in this weird kind of grey area at the moment, aren't we? We
Yeah.
need to wait another 3-4 months before we can really start to kickstart it.
Yeah, because otherwise we'll just have like crap everywhere.
We also did loads. Like,
Yeah.
we did, like, the big stuff we did, like, very early, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like, we booked the venue and then we booked, like, all our vendors, like, within, like, 6 weeks of having the venue booked.
Yeah,
Didn't
and we've like ticked off all the jobs that we probably can tick off. I mean, we obviously could do other ones sooner, but I just don't think it's sensible.
No, I would agree with you. I would absolutely agree with you, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, in terms of, like, booking things in and stuff, what would you say? I wanted to ask you this. What would you say is the biggest thing you've learned about costs? I mean, really, I should be asking myself that as I am the money man. But yeah, what have you learned during this process?
About costs?
Just about the wedding costs. Like, have you learned? Is there been one thing like tip or something you could say, or to anyone or anything like that?
No.
Great. Okay, then. Well, that was
Well, what about you?
riveting answer.
What about you?
I don't know. Just like a bit of advice. We got like a bit of advice.
What about you then?
Well, I don't know. I would probably say my bit of advice that I've learned, which we've done, is get your big stuff out of the way early doors. You then have a rough estimate of your budget. You know what you've got left to spend on the other little things. It's not like, oh yeah, we got that massive payment over our head though, which we haven't accounted for. We got those big stuff out of the way.
You didn't phrase that very well. You said, "What have I learned?" Not, "Do I have any tips?"
Well, I just thought like, what have you learned that you could, tell the viewers, But sorry. Oh God.
No, you went. Well, it doesn't really matter, but you're like, tell us one thing you've learned.
Well, what have
Sounds
you?
like
What
nothing.
what would you give as advice? Anything else other than what I've said?
Keep track of it. Keep track
That's
of
a
it,
good one.
otherwise it can just spiral.
Yeah, keep a track of what you're spending.
Don't just
and
keep booking things and then add it all up.
No, because then you could just keep adding stuff to the list,
it-
can't you?
Builds quickly. That's my tip.
Okay, well there you go. That's a good tip.
Thanks.
And I mean, like we've we've spent money wisely, I think, and we've had a little bit of help and stuff like that. But budgeting wise, I think we're doing pretty well, aren't we?
We're on track.
We're on track, so that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sweet. All right, wicked. Well, we've got a lot to get through today, haven't we? Like a lot of stuff that we want to kind of discuss, being it a 1 year countdown. I guess the one thing I think is the big thing we got to talk about is, how stressed are you?
It has been quite stressful at points, but not actually stressful. Like, I feel like we have a tendency to like talk about things and wind each other up a little bit, don't we?
Yeah, we've made a meal out of some things, haven't we?
Yeah, which haven't needed to be stressful. But generally I've enjoyed it. The process so far. I've really found it fun. But there's obviously it's stressful. It's big chunks of money and big plans and big arrangements and a lot of people that you're sorting out. So yeah, there has been stresses.
Yeah, I feel the same with you. I think that we there's just stuff that comes up and you just get stressed about it and you just make bigger deals out of stuff and there's money involved and there's people involved and there's all sorts of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's we've had not arguments, have we? But like
no.
talks about it, disagreements, and like it can get to a place like we were definitely on this track, and I think I was of like. And I think what you said to me really helped was like, I was always talking about the wedding negatively, not in a way of like, oh babe, I don't know, we should do this, like nothing like that. But just every time we talk about it, we'd stress about finances.
Yeah,
or
so money's
this
the big
person
one,
or that
hasn't
or
it?
this. Money's been the big one, but there have been
Yeah.
others. And it's like we're getting into a bit of a routine now of talking about the wedding as a bad thing, and it's like, what we need to stop. And you said to me like, no, like let's stop. When we next talk about the wedding, let's talk about good stuff like we did today. We had a lovely talk about the dance, our first dance and
Yeah.
stuff, and had a little bit of a dance and stuff, and it was just lovely. And it's like, no, this is gonna be amazing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because as well, like it's one day. If you dread the whole thing leading up to it, and then say the day goes perfectly, for us it would be like 2.5 years stressing for one nice day.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to enjoy the process.
100%. You want to enjoy it, and you want to enjoy making those decisions,
Yeah.
and booking in your photographer and buying the, I don't know, sweet car, or you're buying your suit or dress
Yeah.
or the stag or whatever it is that goes along with getting married. You want to enjoy it, and you can get into a habit. And that's another piece of advice maybe I'd give then is if you are starting to see that habit, try and come out of it and go, no, this is going to be amazing, and we need to talk about this, that it's going to be amazing,
Yeah, obviously, as well as having the difficult conversations. But yeah, what's the positive psychology? There should be 3 positives to every negative.
Okay, well, on that then, I'll do 1 positive and 1 negative for you. What are you I want 1 thing for each.
Yep.
What are you most excited about? And what are you most nervous about?
What, for the wedding?
Well, considering this is a wedding podcast and
No,
we're 1 year
I
out from our wedding, I would guess yes for the
I
wedding.
didn't know if you meant the year.
No,
The wedding.
the wedding,
What am I-
obviously.
What am I most excited for?
Take your time.
I am most excited for. Oh, just like so many bits. All of it.
Well, what specifically? I'm asking you to pick one. Do you know what? This podcast sometimes really doesn't work because I am in control of like how the questions are framed and stuff like that. And I ask you, and you never can think off the cuff. You need time. So maybe next week we should try you, because it's always
asking the
I ask you
questions.
something and you go Whereas if you ask me, I would just chat crap for 5 minutes, right, to our viewers, and then you would have time to think about what you're most excited and nervous about.
All right. Well, you answer first then.
Okay. So, I can't focus at the moment because our dog is doing all sorts of stuff as he always does. We always set up to do a podcast, and he starts playing with his toys.
Yeah, he loves it.
So,
Hang on a second.
yeah, hang on a sec. All right, we're back.
He's here with us. He's got his rat.
He's got his rat. He's fine. He's calmed down.
He's happy.
So, what am I most excited about?
Yes.
The thing I am most excited about probably is, I think probably the ceremony itself.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I really can't
Why?
wait, because I think that's going to be ingrained in my memory for the rest of my life. And I think that's going to be probably the biggest moment, aside with having children, of my life. And
I know
think
what
the
you mean.
Hold on.
All right.
You asked me, you had your chance, and you ummed and ahed, right? So I
Sorry.
think like the partying is going to be amazing, and that's where my head was going. Oh, that's going to be great and stuff like that and things. But I feel like in 40 years or whatever, or 30 years, or when my son or daughter is getting married and says like, what was your day like? My brain isn't going to go, oh, when it was me and all my mates and everyone dancing on the dance floor, and then we had a dance. And it's going to go to that moment of standing in front of all our close family and friends, holding hands with the vicar or whoever they are, register, saying, do you take this person? So that's what I'm most excited about.
I know what you mean, but I also feel like there's so much pressure in that moment. Do you know what I mean? Like it's all riding on that moment. Whereas like after it is more like you've done that, it's amazing, and you can kind of like
Relax
relax a little bit and enjoy the day.
So go on then, name your one.
Know, like speeches is a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get to hear everyone just like happy and nice and saying nice things. Dancing.
Yeah, you're gonna love that. I think you're gonna have a good time
Yeah.
doing that. I think, what then would we say that we are most nervous about? I'm gonna use a bit of a cheat code here. I'm gonna say the same thing as I said. That's probably a bit of a cop out, but I'm probably the most excited about the ceremony. But again, like you've just said, I'm probably the most nervous about that part as well, because you're right. It's all leading up to that. And then you say, I do, you put the rings on, you're married, right? Done. Okay, now let's celebrate. And it's all like you breathe, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit like an exam. Like it leads up to it, and then you do the exam,
yeah.
and then it's like, oh, okay, that's done. Or whatever, an interview, audition, whatever. But like, yeah, so I guess what I'm excited about is kind of the thing I'm most nervous about as well. You know, you never know if an ex-girlfriend's going to burst through the door. Don't do it. Some sort of EastEnders.
Well, since when we get married, we'll
Do you
have been
imagine
together for like what, nearly 8 years. We'll have known each other for 8 years.
Yep.
I'd hope that there isn't anyone that's going to barge in.
Okay, but could you imagine anyone hold their peace and like your ex burst through the door? Like, stop the wedding.
I object.
That would be jokes. All right.
Crazy.
No, it would be horrible, but kind of funny as well. All right. What are you most nervous about?
Yeah, something
no,
to do
I don't
with
think it
the
is.
what?
Yours. I think I know yours.
What do you think mine is?
I thought it was gonna be like, dare I say it? It might be wrong. Like your makeup going wrong, or like the dress like
Nah.
ripping or something. Okay, maybe not.
No. Why would any of that go wrong? I'm not nervous for that. If it went wrong, then I would obviously be like, fuck. But
Yeah.
I don't presume that's gonna go wrong.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Fair
you
enough.
know?
Yeah.
But I guess there is something like all eyes being on you, like, you know what I mean? Like, what if I trip over? Or
That's a good one, actually. I didn't think of that.
what if I trip
If you
over?
fall over.
Or like, what if, like, I don't know, just something happens? It's to do with the ceremony. It's definitely to do with
Yeah.
But
No,
something-
anything after that would just be a laugh. If
Yeah,
you fell over on a dance floor, you
exactly.
just laugh about it.
Yeah.
Like, no one would care, would they?
Yeah.
Or what about weather? Weather's a good one. Nervous about if it's raining.
Yeah, but that's how I don't think I care as much. Obviously, I'd like the weather to be nice, but it's completely out of our control.
No,
We
it is.
cannot
It
do
is
a
out of your
single
control.
Thing about
like,
that.
and also, it is what it is. We're still getting married. Like it's raining or
It's
sunshine.
all indoors. It's not going to cancel.
Exactly. All right. Well, this is a good one next then that we could talk about.
Yeah.
Is like how when this kind of goes in with what we were talking about like little like the little conversations we've had about always talking about our wedding negatively and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is like how has this wedding and planning for it strengthened or tested us as a couple, and how have we kind of stayed connected to each other throughout it?
Well, we're so different in terms of like the way we approach things, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think that's definitely been like something we knew that anyway. Let's not lie, we knew that anyway.
No, we did.
But that has definitely come up throughout this process.
Oh yeah.
Where you're like, tick off things, get this done, very organized, and I'm just like, we've got time.
Yeah, you're
We can
way
get it
more laid back and
done.
relaxed than what will be, and I'm more no. Let's get this signed, sealed,
Yeah.
delivered now. Pay the deposit. It's
Yeah.
booked in. Yeah, and I think that has tested both of us,
Yeah.
right? Because I've been like, what's going on? Like, can you do this? Can you do that? Have you done this? Have you done that? But I'm also the one who's going, oh, we need to like pay for. I'm the one stressing about like, oh, well, this payment needs to be made at this time, and you're there like, we keep talking about it negatively. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it swings and roundabouts kind of thing, isn't it? But I think it has really connected us and strengthened
Yeah,
our
we-
relationship as well.
Because as well, I think it's something that we like hold on to constantly, so that buzz doesn't vanish. Do you know what I mean?
And it's so exciting to look
Yeah.
forward to it, and because there's so many aspects of it, we've got little bits of us in it. Do you know what I mean?
Like, we are milking it. We are absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
milking it.
yeah.
Like, obviously we do this so we can just chat about it.
Yeah, to our 6 viewers.
We do like our 6 viewers, exactly. We have like a 1 weekend a month, don't we?
Yeah,
Our Wedmin weekend.
we do a Wedmin
call
weekend.
it,
Yeah.
where we just sit down, look at our to-do list. Sometimes it lasts for about 10 minutes. And sometimes it is like, we've got jobs we need to do. And it keeps us on track. It's brilliant. But sometimes it is like, oh, that's coming up soon. All right, good to know for next time, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. But I've loved it. I know there's been ups and downs, and there will be in any journey of anything in life. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, of course.
in anything you do, like there's going to be pros, there's going to be cons. Like, it's not this fairy tale thing that's just always going to be easy. It's going to be, right, that costs a lot of money, we need to, do you know what I mean? Or, oh, they're booked,
Yeah.
they're booked for our date. Oh, well, we haven't had that yet, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but we're just enjoying the ride, aren't we? We're in it together.
Still enjoying the ride.
And I think it makes it better when you're just excited about getting married to the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah, and it's fun like doing it together. It almost feels a little bit weird because it's like, you've got to meet up there on the day as two like individual people,
Yeah.
when actually we've planned this entire thing together. Like, we know exactly how everything's going to look, exactly how the day's going to run, and there's not going to be any surprises. But
Absolutely.
it's just funny.
Okay, well, the next one's kind of a question, right? And we've actually got a newly engaged couple in our friendship group, right? Haven't we?
Yes.
Now, as I was just about to ask you, what's one piece of advice? What's the biggest piece of advice you'd give a newly engaged couple? But we've realised from this podcast and all the previous ones that if I ask that, people will and ah for about 2.5 minutes and then say, what about you? What about you? Which I will inevitably answer. So we're going to kill those 2.5 minutes straight off the bat, and I'm going to ask you to ask me, what's the one thing?
What's the one piece of advice that you'd give a newly engaged couple?
Save money early. Save up early. No. Honestly, probably the first thing would be what I've already said. Try and always talk about your wedding in a positive way, even if it is a difficult conversation. Try and, I know it's a bit silly and soppy, but it's language and it does connect. What you say connects with what you hear, and always saying, yeah, it's going to be amazing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Even if we'd have done that going, oh God, like, we're going to have to save all this money and we ain't got much time. Yeah, but it's all going to be worth it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, always talking about it positively. And I think that doing it your way. Don't give a shit about anyone else. Do what you want to do.
I think there is a big
yeah.
part in like bringing yourself into your day, or like you as a couple into your day. Like for us, all of it has been about like what suits us and kind of meets what we want for the day, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And for us, like a big priority has been about it being enjoyable for us and for everyone who comes.
Yeah.
That's been like something we've said from the start, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So like that's kind of when we've looked at venues, when we've been like planning colors and things like that. It's like, what matches the vibe we're going for?
Yeah.
So when you say like bring yourself into it,
Yeah, absolutely. Like bring what you want out of it,
Yeah.
and that could be for anything. I think we've said that. We've harpooned on about that this entire podcast, haven't we?
Yeah, who cares?
We've
Just
said
do
it.
for
We've just said
you.
it. Do it your way, and I think that's the biggest piece of advice. I would also, I was joking about save money early, but I think it's a good bit of advice to go because we come at it from a total like no savings kind of perspective, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think we made like a small little deposit into a pot each, but we didn't really have much.
No.
Whereas I think had we had a bit tucked away even prior to thinking about it, it would have been a lot smoother sailing. It would have been like,
Yeah.
well, we got that tucked away already for it, so we're ahead of the game,
I think mine would be
as opposed to playing
my
catch up.
advice
Yeah.
would be to not rush.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if it means being engaged for a little bit longer, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But for us, I think that has kind of obviously allowed us to save. But with, sorry, I dropped my mic.
Dropped a mic. Oh my god.
With having that time, we could kind of relax things a little bit, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could take it easy.
I'm laughing now.
But yeah,
I've lost my train of thought.
it's all right.
Moving on.
What is it still on?
Yes,
Thank
it's on.
God. Right. What about things that like no one just off that, like, because obviously that's us telling people, about advice about being newly engaged. What's things that no one kind of warned us about planning a wedding? I don't know really. Like, I think one thing. Well, then again, people did warn me about this, but I think.
Yeah, I know. I think for me, it's things that we did get warned about, but I didn't take seriously.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like the amount, like of shit there is to think about. Honestly, like, I thought it was just okay. It's a wedding day. Like, you turn up, like you buy a suit, like, and like our spreadsheet is just our to-do list is like hundreds of things, and you're like, oh my god, there are so many things and decisions to make for this one little day, like. Not little day, but you know what I mean.
Little day.
Massive day for us, but it is just a day
One
at the end of the
day,
day, and you're just like, oh my god, do you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
that's one thing that shocked me is just like there's so much to do still,
Yeah.
It's like, when does it end?
I was gonna, because we were talking about this bit last night with our friends, and I knew this, like, everyone says it, and this is something that we had like extensive conversations about, like not wanting to put the rest of our life on hold for one day,
Yeah,
like whilst we save, whilst we plan, like everything else,
Yeah.
not wanting it to get put on hold. But I not that everything has to be put on hold, but I think it's kind of unavoidable.
Oh,
You
it's
have to make
unavoidable.
sacrifices for
No,
it.
you
Like, that's you absolutely have to. I don't think there's any two ways around it,
No.
unless you are being given a
unless you're getting your wedding paid
Sum
for
of
you
money,
by
yeah.
inheritance or something like that.
Yeah.
If you're saving it for it, you're gonna have to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
You can't live the way you did last year. We went on like 4 holidays.
yeah. I
Didn't
know.
We literally went everywhere. We went Greece, we went Reykjavik, we went Paris, we went all these places.
Yeah, and last summer we went to, where did we go?
Dover, Bournemouth, because it was like, well, we don't have however much, 800 quid each to
Yeah.
go on an all-inclusive holiday. Like, that's got to go £800 deposit into our wedding. Like, so
Yeah.
you do have to make sacrifices, but
It
it will be worth it, and we can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, the next thing I wanted to discuss about, and I think this is really cool, right?
All right.
It's called on here wedding planning versus marriage prep and balancing the two. And I never thought
is
about
that?
it like that. Well, basically they're saying like wedding planning,
Yeah.
right, is what we've been doing, right?
It's marriage prep.
Preparing to be married.
Why does it change anything?
Well, we are going to come on to that in a later podcast, so let's not discuss too much on it. But
Alright.
I'm talking about preparing to be married. I haven't even thought about that. Because we've been planning
'cause
for the
we're
wedding.
basically a married couple anyway.
Yeah, but things are going to be different.
Like what?
This is another podcast, but I'm
sorry.
just saying that the difference between planning for, I haven't thought about it. Like, we're just like planning for this wedding day. Oh, no. After the wedding day, we're going to be married. That's pretty huge. I hadn't thought about that. I've just been planning for this day,
You're
Actually,
basically-
this is kind of a groundbreaking moment live on
are
air
you,
for me.
Are you having a bit of a?
I'm kind of having a bit
crisis?
of a breakdown.
You're basically my husband anyway.
No, I don't feel. I think I think
Just
I'm
cut-
going to call it
just-
off.
Cut the whole thing off.
Shut up. You're getting married.
What, to myself?
No, to Max. I'm kidding. No, all right. Well, that is kind of a separate podcast, actually.
Yeah,
so
I
we'll
know,
discuss
I
things
keep-
about that. But just an interesting thought, because I'd never thought about that. I'm planning for this wedding, and it's actually no. The wedding is the day that you're going to get married. You're going to be a married person. Oh my god.
We're going to be husband and wife.
Oh my god.
Shut up.
Right.
Stop doing
Anyway, all right. Well, with that being said, okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're planning, and it's a year countdown. What if we had to elope tomorrow? What would
Yeah.
that look like?
that. I think it'd be jokes.
Really?
Uh,
Vegas?
we can't afford Vegas.
Can you elope to anywhere
Yeah.
and just get married on a whim?
I don't
I
know
wouldn't
about on a
want that.
whim,
I
but
wouldn't want that.
you could just like get married in a registry
know what,
office. Yeah.
A restaurant?
Registry
Oh,
office.
you said just, I was
Surely-
like,
You
what?
definitely could. I don't think that would count as an elopement though.
I just think, like, I have sometimes thought about it. Like, I wouldn't want it, and we decided, didn't we? Because we discussed things like
yeah,
that.
there
Not-
was an
we-
option we considered.
We did, and we were like, should we just? Because I've always thought, like, do you know what? Just elope, do it for £1,000,
Have like 10
£2,000,
people there.
have a few people there, do it, have an amazing time, have an amazing night, and then spend the money that you would have spent thinking and traveling around the world
Yeah.
and see the world and go on a massive wicked holiday and because it's for you two. But we didn't want that. We wanted the
Yeah.
bells and whistles. We wanted the white wedding, didn't we?
We'll have time to go on holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
So we could do that. Obviously, we could do that. I think it would be still nice. We'd probably do it in the UK, not go to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That would still be expensive going to Vegas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it would. I just mean, like,
I think if we were going to elope, I think what we would do, or what I would do,
what you would want to do, and then I would obviously do as well.
yeah,
Right,
much.
go on then.
is like just a little wedding in the UK somewhere.
Yeah,
with like
yeah.
10 to 20 people max.
Yeah.
And that would be the day. And then we'd probably
Like
have
my mum and dad did.
yeah. And then we'd probably have a bit of a party, like our engagement party, to celebrate after.
Yeah.
That would
yeah.
probably be what
That
we
would
do,
probably
yeah.
be what we do. Yeah. It's good. Yeah, it's good. I don't know why we're not doing that.
No, we're
actually.
not doing that. We've already done the engagement
I'm
party,
kidding, I
so
know.
we're doing the wedding.
All right, I'm going to
We're
end on
doing
this.
the wedding.
Oh, well, I'm
Alright.
being forced into it now. No, I'm going to end on this. I want to end on this today,
Alright.
okay? Now, I know we've kind of done what you're excited for and what you're nervous for generically, okay?
Yeah.
But I want you to tell me right now, and you can take your 2 minutes umming and ahhing about it, or we can just
I
flip
might
it
have
and
an
I'll ask
answer.
first.
Ask the question. and
I
let me know.
want you to tell me one moment or like specific thing, not like the ceremony, which is like a 40-minute thing,
Yeah.
that you can't wait for, that you are looking forward to more than anything. One specific moment of the day, and we're going to end on that each. One moment. Is it could, I'd allow like the first dance. I would allow like your dad's speech, for example. It couldn't be the speeches, but you're like a specific saying I do, putting the ring on the finger, that first kiss. I don't know what it is, but it could be one moment from the day, or going to our honeymoon suite after and like opening all our cards with all our cash in it. No, anything you want from the day. One moment.
One moment.
One moment. 2 minutes later. Do you want me to go?
What's yours?
Okay. Well, I don't know why I asked the question. Next week, I'm just going to ask the question to myself and answer it. Do you know where mine is?
Yeah, go on.
You know that room she showed us
Yeah.
with the barrel in it?
Yeah.
And she said, you'll get married.
You'll get a couple of
You
minutes.
walk
here.
down the aisle and you two will go, just you two, go into this private room, this little tiny room. It's nothing special. It's literally a
Yeah,
dressing room.
Yeah.
It's where I think I get changed with the
Yeah.
boys. But she was like, after you got married, you'll go in there. There'll be a drink waiting for you,
Yeah.
like a glass of Prosecco. And you two will just have 5-minute moment. No one can come in, just for you after you've just got married. And when she said that, I just thought, I can't fucking wait for that. Like, that's going to be that feeling in that room, like, of us just doing it. And you in the dress, me in my suit.
What do you
we've
think? It'll
just-
be romantic.
I just think it will just be full of joy and happiness and like high adrenaline and like
Yeah.
we've just done this thing and it's just us, and like you're up there in front of all your family and friends. You're kind of, I don't want to say performing, but you're like standing there. You can't be your like proper self and say what you want to say. You're saying what the register person's, and that'll be the first moment where the kind of, I don't know, the mask drops and it's just you two, and you're married, and it's like, oh my god,
Oh shit.
we did it! Like
Yeah.
we're here. This is us. The rest of our lives. Like,
Yeah.
wow, how do you feel? Like we'll be shaking. Like it'll be amazing. That's my moment.
Oh, that's cute.
So yeah,
That's a
there's
good
my little
one.
piece.
That's a good one.
What about you? And
I
if you
feel
dare
like-
say
I
opening the
think
cars
the
with cash.
same moment. No, I'm joking. I think it will be. You know, is it like just at the start of the meal or like just before when they go like, oh, please stand in welcoming for the first time?
Yeah, it's not like no food has been served, but it's
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you first
yeah.
go into the
because
food
they like
place.
almost like it's the
You're doing
first time they're
photographs, yeah.
welcoming you as like
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. or whatever.
Mhm.
I think that will be fun because it's like or like a significant moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that will be good.
And then
as well,
it is
wouldn't
it is around like our loved ones, but they're like it's the like we were saying earlier, the pressure's off a little bit.
Yeah, I think on that one, I think that's probably the first like relaxed moment.
Yeah.
You'll go into that room, that'll be mental. You go photographs, and that'll still
Oh
be
yeah,
it'll be
you still
settling
would
in.
have spoken to anyone,
And that'll
like,
be the
yeah.
moment where like it you're relaxed about it now.
Yeah.
Like it's died
You
not
can
died down, but
celebrate
it's
all that.
yeah, you feel relaxed, and then you come in holding hands, Mr. and Mrs. like, you know, and you come in and you're there and everyone's like cheering. It's that first moment of it's that, like we've done it. Like
Yeah.
here we are, let's
and don't lie,
celebrate.
we're
it.
both attention seekers, so
Oh yeah.
that will be a good
Oh,
moment
yeah.
for us.
Yeah, it really does. It really will. Well, okay, let's end on that.
All right.
That was a magical podcast, I felt.
Oh,
I really enjoyed
you're in your
that.
feels, aren't you?
That was lovely. That was really, really nice. Well, let's not end on that because we do still have one
yeah,
thing
we
to
still
do.
got Mr. and Mrs. to do.
Mr. and Mrs.
Mister.
You've just now got a cut to whatever. Can you say it now then?
Mr. and Mrs. What?
Okay, we're back. Live, baby. Here we go. Mr. and Mrs. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Your first question. Our dog is snoring. So if he's not playing, he's snoring. The first question is, who likes to binge watch TV shows more? 3, 2, 1. It's
Me!
Pippa!
No, I haven't
Go on.
binge watched anything in ages. Luke can't binge watch TV.
No.
He can only
can't.
concentrate for about one, possibly
No.
2 episodes of something.
What? No, it isn't that.
Depending on
You
the
need
length. He likes to salvage things.
You know, yes, I like the salvage thing, and you need things. You need to take things in. I think what they're doing now, like with White Lotus at the moment, yeah, which we're watching, is like 1 episode a week. That's stupid. That's gone, and you need to offer it out and say you can watch this when you
Yeah,
want.
but he makes me
But-
wait.
But like 14 episodes or like 6 episodes in one day, that's not good. That's
Oh,
not
I love
healthy.
it.
That-
I've not
no.
binge watched anything in ages.
Like 2 or 3 episodes, and then you go and do something else, and then another episode, whatever, right?
no,
but
I
fine.
love it.
But you do it.
No, I've not
Yeah.
in ages, since January. Since December.
All right.
I've been reading
What was it
instead.
one time I come home and you'd freaking watched like 20, like honestly, like she started a series of something and there was like 24 episodes in each series and there was like 8 series.
In COVID,
And
I
I-
watched the whole. This is when I was working as well. Like I had to go out and work throughout the whole pandemic. I watched the whole of Grey's Anatomy. There's like, I don't even know how many series are 20, and every episode's like 45 minutes to an hour long, and there's like 27 episodes in each series. I watched the whole thing in like 3 weeks. I loved it.
That's not healthy,
I'd
mate.
stay up till like 2 a.m.
Right,
watching
right.
it. I would be like, oh my God, I need to put the next one on.
On that note, moving on
I
to
loved
what
it.
I think is going to be a really, really difficult one here. I think
Go
this is
on.
going to set aside. I think it's going to, I don't know.
Cause an
let's see.
argument.
No, like I don't know. I think we could
Oh.
differ. Let's see.
All right.
Who is more into sports? You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. I said you.
I said you.
Right. So explain your pick, and then I'll explain mine.
Because I think I am a naturally more sporty person.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I've done more sports and kind of progressed in more sports
Yeah.
than you have.
Yeah.
So like actually doing sports, but you are more interested in like watching sports and keeping up with sports, and
Yeah.
you like the sports you like, you're more into. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's why I put you, because I am back. I play football and jog, and am well into football.
Yeah.
Following it, I follow it avidly. You can see by
Yes.
the jumper I'm wearing.
Yeah.
But the question was, who is more into sports? And I thought you, with like your gymnastics background and everything like that, I
Yeah.
just thought you more than me. If it was who's more into football, there's no question, right? But you know, sports I'm not into. I'm into football.
But
I'm
you
not into
are.
sports.
You are. Like,
I don't-
you watch
what?
your freaking golfing shows and stuff.
Occasionally, and like Formula One, but again, I'm not. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah, it depends what you mean by who's more into sports. If it's like interest in sports, I would have said you. But in terms of like engagement in sports,
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
me.
All right. Last one. Who loves shopping?
What kind of
more?
shopping?
Well, we're gonna have to discuss it, aren't we?
All right. Well,
3, 2, 1.
I put me.
Pippa.
Yeah.
Now, tell us what we meant by what kind of shopping.
Well, this is quite a split really, because I love shopping, like as in like clothes shopping or shopping for things that I like. Yeah, I love it. I love going out and taking myself shopping. I cannot stand. It's not even specifically food shopping, but like food shopping.
Yeah.
I cannot stand it. But I still put me down because I don't think you particularly enjoy that. Do you?
Food shopping.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Do you?
I like going out and getting a food shop, yeah.
Oh.
But you hate it.
I hate
So I did put you because
I
I took
hate
it as,
it.
if someone said to me, do you want to go shopping? I wouldn't go, oh, they want to go to Aldi. I'd be like, they want to go out to like, you know,
town
yeah, Oxford Street
and
or
have
something.
a little mooch around all the shops
Oxford
and
Circus
stuff.
or whatever it is,
Yeah, I
yeah?
love that.
Yeah.
It's a hobby.
Whereas you love that. So that's why I put you. But well,
Scrolling online.
yeah, scrolling,
Love.
yeah, all that. You do it, vintage, yeah. So there we have it. That is another episode of Shut Up.
We're getting married.
And here-
in 1 year's time.
In 1 year's time, the countdown is officially on. We're going to go and celebrate our 1 year countdown. That's the thing, you know. Do
I
you
know.
celebrate 1 year to go?
No.
No, you don't.
No. People put it all. Oh, people. Oh, 1 year to go. Like anyone else gives a shit. Sorry.
And on that note, after such a wholesome, lovely, wonderful, such a touching episode, we thought we were going to end on such a beautiful moment.
Well, I can't
We
wait
end
for
on-
us.
Who gives a shit?
No, I can't wait for us.
Goodbye.
Bye.